A woman listened to the radio. It seemed to sound the voices and screams of the cops who had just had their comrade shot. Oh, she said, "Damn, Frozen's at it again. I guess this is his 61st victim? It's amazing how long he can go on. I need some help with this. I guess that detective will do for a good bit. Frozen will knock him down as soon as he steps in sight. 50 cal to the dome. It's a shame those cops have the wrong number. He'd do a lot more with more numbers." The detective said, "Jesus, guy's good. How many people can this guy hit a day, Michael?" Michael was 5'7" and had a scar across his cheek from a knife fight back in Boston. He was sent with Ash to Moscow to hunt the frozen assassin by orders of NATO. He said, "I read the files, and this guy must be angry because today is 5 people. However, he did 12 guys in one day just a month ago." A phone rang, and Michael picked up and put it on speaker. A soft little voice came through. "Hi, Daddy, how are you?" Michael smiled. "Hey, my baby girl, how is... I'm working right now. Can I call you back in 15 minutes? The little girl sighed and said, "Okay, but if you don't call back, I'm gonna be mad." Michael said, "I'll call back, sweetie. Goodbye, I love you." The little girl said, "Bye, Daddy, I love you too." As he hung up, Ash said to Michael, "We gotta check on that guy on the south side of town." "Well, at least he's not too far away. And hopefully he's alive." Frozen had narrowly escaped the cops and had gotten into a car just a bit ago. His standard car was a Mustang, pure red. It was fast and could outrun most of the cops in the city. Thankfully, he had gotten up to the roof just in time. He knew that some cops were going to come along, and he needed a good sniping spot to take out their wheels. He couldn't let the detective get to the next target. He found a railing on the large office building he stood on and looked through the scope and saw Ash and took a shot. It hit the police car's tire. Ash's car spun out of control and hit the side of a building. With that done, he only had a few rooftops to go across to kill his next target. The view zooms back over to Ash. He's sitting in the car with his partner, sipping a thermos, crashed into the wall. It was a powerful coffee from what he knew. Ash had once taken a sip of it and was awake for almost 24 hours. He had no idea how Michael drank that and went to sleep every night. Ash said, "Bastard fucking got our wheel." Michael turned on the radio and said, "Shots fired. I repeat, shots fired. Our tire got hit and we need backup. Target is probably going to be dead once you guys are here." As Frozen ran across rooftops, he saw his target. He stood in front of a window for a second, but only for that long. He went back to his office in the giant high in the giant building. Frozen was on top of a 5-foot building, while his target was 19 floors above him. He had counted the floors just a bit ago and realized that this might be one of his more difficult shots. He set the gun on a railing and looked up. He knew he couldn't barge in the front door and kill him because of the police, but he could pull off a shot if he did the math correctly. Years of firing the weapon, he knew the heart of the math. He calculated the bullet's direction, and a minute passed. The man once again stood right in front of the big glass wall. His last mistake. Frozen felt calm pulling the trigger of a gun. It was his calling, and what he knew. Bangs sounded and the glass shattered. The man was dead, and his body fell down a high distance from the shattered glass. Frozen felt he was done for the day. He felt as if he could go back to his home for the day and keep going tomorrow. He only had one target tomorrow, and it would be a big one. The night after getting out of the hospital, Detective Ash sat down at his apartment. He wanted to talk to his partner, but he was not able at the time because he was talking to his daughter. As soon as they got help, he called his daughter, saying he was fine, how his day was. It was almost odd how fast he could go to, oh yeah, we gotta stay calm, to, oh hey sweetheart, how are you? He never really knew the kid's name. However, the only thing he knew is he called his daughter Sweetie, Sweetie Pie, or some cute little girl's name. He thought back to Frozen. If he could hit shots like that earlier today, that he could have killed many more than the current estimate kills. Frozen had about 50 kills, or 56 kills, and it was suspected to be even higher. Ash sat there and looked outside. The snow fell hard to the ground, as it mostly did in Russia. He looked out at the Russian skyline, and he saw past the stars, remembering long ago the stories of Rasputin and the Tsar. He remembered his own experience with the communists. He remembered back to when he was in high school, when his friends called other people communists as an insult, or just another word for stupid. He remembered the woman who assigned him to the case. She did not have anything special on, and used an alias. He could tell because he saw specific signs he had learned in college. Signs of her lying about many things. It was almost too easy to read. So he thought for a minute. Maybe that was intentional. However, he did not have time to think about those things. Frozen had killed one person right in front of his eyes, and nearly killed him that day. He looked at the names of the men he killed. They had almost nothing in common other than 99% of them were political figures. When they investigated crime scenes, they found no DNA evidence of him even being there. This guy was good at killing. It was like he committed the perfect crimes. Many criminals had been locked up by Ash in his years of being a cop. He remembered back to when he caught his first criminal, a man who had killed his wife. He felt sorry for the kids, that their only remaining parent was going to be locked away, but he understood why. In fact, it almost scared him how men committed these crimes. He looked outside one more time as he fell asleep. He saw the snowfall getting lighter, but the city still needed to plow the streets when they got up. Ash finally planted his face on the bed and fell asleep.